Hello students. So students, in the previous class, we were talking about in the chapter that is separation of the substances about the different kind of separating techniques. Okay. So we have seen a lot of different types of separating techniques. So you see students that we have seen the process of sedimentation and that of a decantation process. What is a sedimentation process? So sedimentation process is a process in which if we mixes the two components in a mixture in which one of the component is insoluble into the another, then you will see that after, and heavier also, so when you keep it left undisturbed, you will find that it will settle down at the bottom while the upper layer will remain suspended, it will remain there. Okay, so you can say that there is a division of the layer occur. It means one layer is at the above, the smaller layer, the next layer is present at the bottom. Okay, so two layers will be formed. So the solid material which gets settled down at the bottom, that solid material is known as a sediment. Now there is a formation of a two-layer, student. So we are able to separate the upper layer from that of the lower layer by pouring it gently into the another vessel, and that process is known as a decantation process. Okay, so without disturbing the sediments, if we are pouring the upper layer from that of the sediments, that is known as a decantation process. Now the second thing that we have to understand in this, students, and that is in the process of a decantation, we have seen that there are some conditions, and that condition is that if the component of the mixture is soluble, means both are soluble to each other, then no decantation. Decantation process can occur. No decantation. No decantation process can occur. Okay, but if one is insoluble into the other, what does that we understand, student, by this? That one of the component of that of the mixture must be insoluble to that of the other component. We have discussed also that if we are taking a sand plus water, so you are knowing about it that sand is the insoluble in the water. So we can say that here we can do the process of a decantation easily. Soluble to each other, if suppose we are taking sugar here, sugar plus water, so you see that these both are soluble to each other, so we can say that we are not able to separate it from each other. Okay, so separate it from each other, we cannot do the process of a decantation. So the condition is that the one of the component of the mixture must be insoluble into the another. Now, not only this, student, if suppose we will take an example of two liquids, if you are mixing two liquids together, so there also a condition is there for carrying the process of a decantation, and that is one miscible to each other, another immiscible. Miscible to each other means get mixed with each other example is milk plus water or juice plus water. Here immiscible, for example, water plus oil. Okay, milk plus water or water plus oil. So what is the difference here in these two components? So you see that in the first one, milk get easily mixed with the water, and in the second one, water does not get mixed with the oil. So one get easily mixed, another do not get easily mixed with each other, and that is why we use the two terms for it, that is one is miscible and another is a immiscible liquid. Okay. So in this process, since they are both mixed together, so we are not able to see the two layer or no layer formation occur. So we can say that no decantation process can occur here. But here, when if suppose you have taken water, you have taken oil, and then you start shaking it, after some time you will find, student, that there is a formation of a two layer of oil and that of a water. So we are able to take out the water from the oil, okay, or we are able to pour one of the layer from the another. So that is a decantation. So we can say the process of decantation can occur. Okay, so here it is all about the decantation process. Now, if we move to the next one, before that, let me ask you a question to you all. That is, when I said that we have taken a glass filled with water, then we have taken a feast of a sand and put it in the water, or we have taken a 2 to 3 tablespoon of a sand and added in that of the water, right? And what you will observe, after some time, the sand will get settled down easily, and then you can simply mix it. You can simply pour the upper layer from that of the sand. But if suppose you have taken chalk powder along with the sand, okay, so you have a mixture of a chalk powder and that of a sand, or you have taken mud. So mud consisting of some of the particles of the mud, they are heavier ones, so it will settle down, but still there are some particles which remain suspended in the water. What is the meaning of a suspended means, students? That it remains floating on the surface of the water. Okay, you have seen also that if we want to separate it, all the particles should settle down at the bottom. But there are some particles which remain suspended on the surface of the water. Okay, and in such a case, we have to apply some method by which either they all will get settled down, or we are able to remove all the particles or the other layer which we have added in it. Okay, so for that, for removal of the suspended particle, we can do another kind of a separating technique, separating method, that is known as a loading. Okay, so let me tell you about loading. Okay, so the next method is that of a loading. What is the process of a loading, students? So basically, you see that in the process of the loading, student, what we are doing, we are making the suspended particle heavier so that they get settled. And why we are doing so? Because there are some particles which remain suspended over the surface of the water, and we want the two layers, we want to remove that, or we want the two layers of all the particles, and it will be possible only if the suspended particle will get settled down. Okay, so in the process of loading, we used to make the suspended particle heavy. Now, how we can make the suspended particle a heavier particle, student, by adding something. And what is that we add in the water which makes it a heavy and which makes the suspended particles to settle down? So that is the alum. Alum is actually used. It is used in that of the mixture, we can say, and which makes the suspended particles to settle down. Okay, so deposition of the alum in that of the mixture help in making the suspended particle components become heavier and finally settle down. So by this, students, we can say that the process in which the alum particles, the definition of the loading is the particles in which the alum particles, students. Okay, so the alum particles which these alum particles are deposited on suspended clay particle, suspended clay particles, making it heavier and then it gets settled down. Okay, so the alum particle, it get deposited on that of a suspended clay particle, making it heavier and finally make it, because when it get heavy, student, finally it will get settled down easily. Okay, so this is all about that how we do the process of a loading. Means what is the loading means? When we say that we are doing loading, it means what? We are making the suspended particle to get settled down easily. Now, how we can do this process, students? What are the different steps which is involved in that of a loading process? So let us discuss all of the step one by one. Okay, so now let us discuss the various process, or we can say the steps which is involved in the process of that of the loading. So what we will do, student, at first we will take a mixture of water and that of the mud. We can say it is what? A muddy water. Muddy water means consisting of a mud and that of water in it. Okay, so we can say muddy water. Okay, so you can understand by this, student, what is a muddy water. What is a muddy water, student? Muddy water, muddy water is a mixture of clay particles and water. So muddy water basically consisting of clay particles and water. Okay. We will say that water consisting of a mud in it. So what is there actually? It is consisting of a clay and water. Okay. Now we have taken it in a beaker. It is a mixture of this which is taken in a beaker. Okay. So we have taken it in a beaker. Now what we will do? We will take a piece of a alum and we will tie it with the help of a thread. Okay, so we can say the piece of a alum is tied the piece of a alum is tied with a thread. Piece of alum is tied with a thread and it is suspended in the beaker in which we had kept the muddy water. Okay, so we can say that. Okay, so piece of the alum is tied with a thread and it is suspended in the muddy water. Suspended in the muddy water. It remains suspended in the muddy water, and then what we can do, students, we can rotate it. Okay, we will rotate it 3 to 4 times so that the alum particle will get suspended into the water also. Remember that. See, what are you doing here? Clay particles are there, they are suspended, and we have taken an alum, a piece of an alum, we are tying it with the thread and we are continuously dipping it for 3 to 4 times. Okay, so we can say the piece of an alum is tied with a thread and it is suspended in the muddy waters for 3 to 4 times. Okay, so we are suspending it for 3 to 4 times. Now the next one is, students, what we can do after that, you will find that the alum particle will get mixed into the water. When you are continuously suspending it in the water, in the muddy water, so some of the alum particle will also get dissolved in the water. Here dissolving, it means that will also get suspended in the water. Okay, so we can say that now some of the alum particle, some of the alum particles gets mixed in the muddy water and remains suspended in it. Okay, so it remains suspended in it. So what we have done, student, we have taken an alum, we have tied it with a thread and then we dipped it 3 to 4 times in the beaker which where we had kept the muddy water in it. Now what we will do, students, the alum particle, it also gets suspended with the other particles. So these alum particles will combine with that of the suspended clay particles, and when it get combined with that of a suspended clay particles, alum particles being the heavier one give the heaviness, increasing the density of these suspended particles and ultimately make it to get settled down at the bottom. Okay, so we can say that these heavy alum particles, mixes or combine with that of a suspended clay particles. Okay, so these heavy alum particles combines with the suspended clay particles. Okay, so these also combine with the suspended clay particles, finally making it a heavier one. Okay, suspended clay particle and making it heavier. Okay, so these heavy alum particle, it combined with the suspended clay particle, making it heavier, and ultimately we can say, the particles will come and settle down at the bottom. Okay, so we can say that ultimately the particles gets settled down at the down at the bottom. Okay, so it gets settled down at the bottom. Okay, so you see students, so after that what we can do students, we can decant the water into the another vessels. So what we have seen here students, we have seen that there are some of the particles when you mix it with the water, it remain insoluble, but because of a low density or since it is a lighter one, it will remain floating on the surface of the water. It means it do not get settled down easily, right? So as it do not get settled down easily students, so what happened when you we can say that when you apply some chemicals in it, only then they become heavy and settle down. Till that they remain as such. Okay, so for that, for such a clay particles you can say student which remain suspended over the water surface and do not make two layers. So for such a condition we add a chemical in it and that is known as a alum. Okay, so when you add alum in it, this alum particles will also get suspended in the water surface and it combines with that of the clay particles. When it combines with the clay particles making the clay particles a heavier one. Okay, because these alum particles are the heavy particles, so they combine with the clay particles, giving it a density, making it heavy, and finally these clay particles will get settled down. Okay, so when it gets settled down students, now you can find that there is a formation of a two layer and then we are able to separate the two layer from each other. Okay, then we are able to decant easily. Okay, so now we are able to decant it easily. So this is the process that is known as a loading process. Okay students. Now after loading there is another kind of a process also, and that process is known as a filtration process. Okay, so loading is there and then filtration. You see here students, when we were talking about in the case of a sedimentation, let me write the topic. Topic is filtration. Filtration. Why there is a need of a filtration? Let me tell you about it. Filtration. What is a filtration process students? So see, till now we have discussed about the sedimentation process, we have discussed about the decantation process. What happened in the sedimentation? In the process of the sedimentation, there is a formation, you see that when we add an insoluble substance in a water, then being insoluble, it will not going to mix with it, and when you keep it left undisturbed for some time, being heavier also, remember that both of the thing is important. One, it should be heavier than the other. Second, that it should be insoluble, okay, immiscible. So insolubility and the heaviness is both of the property is responsible for the process for carrying the process of a sedimentation and a decantation process. So in sedimentation process students, we have seen that we have taken the two components and they do not mix with each other, being a heavier one of the component will settle down, another remain at the upper surface as an upper surface, and when you keep it left undisturbed, that process is known as a sedimentation. Settling, the deposition of the sediments and formation of a two layer, that is known as a sedimentation. Decantation is what students, now you have to separate, simply you are pouring the one layer from the other without disturbing the other or without disturbing the sediments. That is known as the decantation process. But here also, you know that while decantation, we have to be more careful. We have to be more careful regarding the pouring the water into the another vessel. Okay, so you see. Okay, so that is the decantation process. So while pouring, student, you should be more careful and you have to see that the insoluble impurity should not come with it. Because chances is there that while pouring, what will happen, the insoluble particles will also come, and it will, you can say that the separation will be ineffective then, if the other layer will also come from it. So to remove such kind of a problem, what we can do, we can use another kind of a method, and that method is a filtration method. In the process of a filtration method, students, we can separate the one layer from that of the another layer by using a filter. Okay, that is why the name is given a filtration. Filtration, it means with the help of a filter. Okay, so you see, student, filtration basically it happens with the help of a filter paper. Filter paper is a kind of a paper which consisting of a very minute hole in it. Okay, and when you pour that of the mixture or that of a filter paper into the another vessel, because we are keeping the filter paper in a funnel. In the funnel, we will keep the filter paper and then we used to pour the solution, pour the mixture over it. What you will find that the filtrate portion, the liquid portion will come, but the insoluble one will remain present on the filter paper, and by this process we can easily separate the insoluble component from that of the soluble one. Okay, so we can say filter paper is a round piece of paper. It is a round piece of a paper which consisting of very minute pores. Meaning of minute, student, it means small. Okay, so we can say that okay, very minute pores will be there. Okay, very minute pores. Okay, these very small pores cannot be seen through the naked eyes. Through the naked eyes. Okay, it cannot be seen through the naked eyes. The filter paper, it cannot be seen through the naked eyes, students. And what will happen when the next one we will write, that is when the liquid with the solid particles passes through this filter paper, then the insoluble solid particle will remain on the filter paper will remain on the filter paper, that is cannot pass through it. It cannot be passed through it, but the liquid passes. But the liquid passes. Okay, so we can say that when the liquid with the solid particle it may pass with that of the filter paper, then you will find that the insoluble solid particle will remain present on the filter paper, but the soluble one will get passed. Means one cannot pass through it and another one can pass through it. This is the process that is known as a filtration. Okay.